All right. Hello, everyone. And well, let me make sure and double check that everything's working. Yes, it is. All right. Hello, everyone. And now welcome to a game between Ente versus Chaemiko taking place here on Concealed Hill. Evelyn, could you turn on the lights for me? And no more chips. I think you've had enough. Okay? Okay. All right, so not casting alongside my daughter Arya, Evelyn is going to be with me, my youngest, or I guess soon to be my middle child. As we take a look over here on the top right-hand side of the map, Ente is spawning as the red undead. Over here on the bottom left, we have Chaemiko spawning as the blue human. Human versus undead in this 1v1 matchup, trying to cast some games that are a little bit more recent, and hopefully I will not have that, well, replay issue. And I told you ate too many chips. You're just coughing up a storm over here, aren't you? All right. Let's go ahead and break things down. Altar of Kings now coming online. It is going to be a human versus undead matchup. One of my favorite matchups to watch just because I feel like it is my worst matchup as a human player sometimes, and I feel like there is a lot for me to learn. Now, human players generally like to fast expand going up against an undead player. We'll see if that is going to be the case this time around. Graveyard, Tomb of Relics, Crypt all opening up. Altar of Darkness showing the Death Knight. No big surprises there, as it is going to be a ghoul eventually into a Crypt Fiend opening. Over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, Archmage gonna go ahead and get trained up. Still no third farm as of yet. Normally, human players do go for that third farm. There it is, pretty much right on time. And then the follow-up question is gonna be, where does the human player go from here? The human player has a number of options. He can try and fast expand. He can tech to tier 2. And that is pretty much what Ente will be scouting for. Meanwhile, Ente, is he actually going to try and do a little bit of creeping? Or is he just going to actually make his way out across the map and do a bit of harassment? Both are viable options. Water Elemental has been dropped down. You can see it actually deals a little bit more damage there as the Archmage picks up Ring of Protection. Doubling the armor and adding also in, what is that, 6% more, or what, 18% more effective hit points, so almost 90 more effective hit points based on attack as the Archmage now heads off to the north. Meanwhile, back off over here, Death Knight now going after the Forest Troll Berserker. You can see him just doing some creeping. And it seems like both sides are just gonna try and respect each other, stay on their own side of the base here. A little bit unlucky by Chaemiko, getting double ensnared on those footmen. And the Water Elemental should have been actually pulled back. This was a mistake by Chaemiko by not pulling back that Water Elemental. By pulling back that Water Elemental, the footmen would have gotten within melee range, and then you would have had more damage. Now, I guess there is the argument or the question whether or not moving the Water Elemental would have cost a lot of loss in, loss in hit points or loss in damage as well. But another way to look at it is you could have perhaps lost aggro on that Water Elemental more easily by attacking a footman. It would have switched attacks, and then that Water Elemental at lower hit points could still be dishing out damage. Coming back across over here, Archmage drops another Water Elemental, going straight after that Forest Troll High Priest. Very important, you do not want to get this Ogre Magi with Inner Fire. If you can avoid that, you remove that additional +5 armor from that Ogre Magi, making it much more easy to take out. And, well, there he goes. Wand of Illusion has been dropped. Forest Troll Trapper is the leftover. As you quickly take a note, Death Knight, Ente pretty much making sure that there is not an expansion going on here. That's what you have to do as the undead player. And you can quickly take a look. You can see that the expansion was about to be attempted. No Arcane Tower as of yet. Quick cancellation on the blacksmith as the skeletal minions and one Crypt Fiend may try and do a bit of engagement. Now, the delay on this scout tower is actually perhaps hurting a lot right now, as we may see some. Oh, there's a death coil onto a militia. Militia trying to get away. Quickly gets taken down. Scout tower now going to get repaired as well. You can take a look at this. Another death coil on another militia. It's going to get taken down as the arcane tower is starting to feed back damage onto the Death Knight. Death Knight is going to lose the ability to death coil. Yes, it is. And that is actually a big loss. However, the skeletal minions being resummoned off of the corpses of that militia, as the militia now tries to back away. This Death Knight is surrounded, and Ente went, well, one bridge too far, so to speak, and he went deep inside the base only to see, well, he needs to burn that Scroll of Town portal. Big losses there. Meanwhile, up on the other side, you can take a look. Footmen, Acolytes trying to do a bit of engagement. Halls of the Dead already upgraded. Archmage trying to get away, but he's leaving behind all of these footmen. That is a potential problem there. As you can see, the Archmage trying to show up to the party, perhaps trying to finish off one or two of those ghouls. There goes a ghoul now. Footman trying to get away. Death Knight used a potion of mana, perhaps, in order to get back up to 227, as we're going to look at that low hit point Footman, perhaps attacked and death coiled. There it is. 24 supply compared to 22. Chaemiko just falling down now. Meanwhile, still no expansion. And thank you for the cheers. Danny23A, thank you for the cheers. Definitely helps me out. Here we are on Concealed Hill. Gonna go ahead and heal back up. As well, Chaemiko and Ente both have small armies at this stage in the game. Yeah, Danny, definitely thank you for those bits. Every little bit helps, and it will I'll start saving up for some daycare costs, as daycare does get very expensive. Anyways, Death Knight now making its way back down to the south here. We are looking Arcane Vault here. Blacksmith now getting added in as well. We are looking at tier 2, and I don't see, well, is there a second hero? Yes, the Mountain King is already out onto the field. Archmage could be in a little bit of trouble here, as the Death Knight and the Crypt Fiends are going to go ahead and try to put pressure right here. Double Water Elementals looking to finish this off. Death Knight now comes to the party. If the Death Knight steals a kill, gets to level 3, could easily start putting pressure with that level 2 Death Coil. All right, that Death Knight, however, didn't get the experience from that Footman. The creeps actually, well, lending a helping hand to Chaemiko. Chaemiko didn't know. Thank you for the bits once more, as the Water Elemental now looking to back away. Death Knight is going to be able to get to level 3 right here. Oh no, beautiful denial by Chaemiko. And this Death Knight is so close to level 3, it can smell it. But now being forced to use a level 1 Death Coil to heal that Crypt Fiend. Very nice micro there. All of those small decisions and micro actually having a profound impact, as the Death Knight gets denied again by a Rifleman. Beautifully done. Beautifully done again, as the Mountain King staying at level 1. But more importantly, you saw continual denial of experience. Micro, using your time wisely for maximum effect. Chaemiko has no idea how much those denials really saved him. All right, Water Elemental going to be dropped on down. You can take a look. The Forest Troll High Priest down to about half mana. Meanwhile, Rock Golem is right here, and we're looking at the Death Knight now, perhaps just trying to venture forth to put in pressure. All right, here you go. There's the double rifleman. There is that boulder, and the Death Knight now comes in. This could be a little bit of a bad situation. Militia now being joined in onto the fight. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend gets taken down. Death Knight asleep at the wheel. Ente is pretty much now in trouble. Death Knight will finally get to level 3 out onto the board. Archmage, does he get the experience? Yes, he does. Mountain King, Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight is up the creek without a paddle, but quickly takes down those low hit point maximum hit point units to try and finish them off. All right, let's take a look. Frost Nova, well, trading a Mountain King for a Crypt Fiend, not the best choice there. Ente getting a little bit of a lucky break, as the Lich and the Death Knight now looking to head back. All right, triple riflemen, 2 priests out onto the field. Archmage doesn't really have all that much. What is he really trying to do? Death Coil will save that Crypt Fiend there, as the units are now looking to pull back. Death Knight not having to worry about, well, you can see a little bit of that stutter step heal there, as the priest is going to be able to get enough heal. Oh, actual body block. Death Coil onto some more units. The Rifleman was not close enough, as you can take a look. More damage getting racked up onto that Mountain, or Death Knight. Death Knight, Mountain King, Stormbolt is coming. Does he get the Stormbolt? Gets the Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich is going to get 4 units surrounded, trying to focus down that 1 unit there. Mountain King going to try to take its place, and is it going to work? Yes, it will. No, it doesn't even need to, as a skeletal minion will also get taken down. Mountain King sitting at level 1. Level 1 Mountain King resurrects incredibly quickly. as the Archmage now makes its way back over. Alright, Archmage dropping down some additional water elementals here. Ogre Magi gonna get taken down. Mountain King gets to level 2, picks up a Wand of Illusion, or will. There it goes. Ring of Protection +3, Wand of Illusion. Archmage now backs up, has Clarity Potion, and level 2 Brilliance Aura. That's exactly what we expected to see. Chaemiko, however, is staying at 1 base right now. And this does become a problem as the late game of the Undead, once Black Citadel is up, you can see dual slaughterhouses. In addition, the Lich with that Orb of Corruption, that -5, or is it -3 armor now? I believe it was debuffed, could have a profound impact. Mountain King is just an illusion, and the Death Knight pretty much says, you know what, I'm pretty much going to just ignore you. Skeletal minions joining in on the fight. Abominations are here. The Abominations with that strong, high damage melee attack, extremely effective against the rifle caster army that we're looking at now. We could also see a couple of meat wagons to try to join in on the fight as the Mountain King gets to level 3. Let's see, easy damage there for Stroll Trapper. Mountain King, why isn't it finishing off that unit? There it goes. We'll finally finish it off there. And still no expansion by Chaemiko. Mountain King shows up to the party. Are we going to see a Stormbolt anywhere? Stormbolt onto the Lich is a possibility, but there is no sorceresses for slow. Mountain King, oh, Wand of Illusion trying to get a surround, unable to do so. Death Coil, it looked like it was trying to be a Wand of Illusion surround. However, unfortunate for him, it did not work out. Lich, Dark Ritual, getting some extra mana off of those skeletal minions once more. We are getting more Abominations again, but the dual slaughterhouses I have not seen being used both at the same time. We are also just now getting into that 50 supply range, and this is rather slow. 12 on each side, as we're now looking at Chaemiko going straight into the other side of the map here, clearing out this Fountain of Health. Fountain of Health, extremely easy to clear out if you have ranged units for focus fire. Generally, the creeps do not focus fire, so any damage that is being done is easily mitigated off. Back across over here, Water Elementals will finish off the last forest, or that last troll berserker there. Priests do have adept training just in case there is any sort of necromancers or banshees or any sort of debuffs that could come in play. Death Knight sitting at level 3 will get to level 4 here. Disease Cloud now ready for those Abominations. Lich should easily get to level 3. Why he isn't standing closer to that Fountain of Health, I do not know. It finally makes its way over. Crypt Fiend trying to get some damage onto that Red Drake there. You can see the damage slowly getting added up. Is the Death Knight holding the Orb of Corruption? That's really what you should be doing. Transfer it so both of you guys can attack back, take down this Red Drake a little bit, and slowly but surely. Back over here, the other side, we are doing some more creeping again. Riflemen all showing up to the party, able to focus down these units. There's a quick bash, potion of, or a pendant of energy. A lot more mana now available for that Mountain King. 4-4 coming in from the human side. Meanwhile, it is a 4-3 coming in from Ente and the Undead army, as the units are now going back to their respective corners. Arcane Sanctum nearly done. Blacksmith, Refined Gunpowder nearly done, as well as the Crypt Lord is going to be able to impale and hero nuke the human army very easily. We are looking at 48 supply versus 50 right now. A slight hero advantage exists for Chaemiko, but will it stay? That is the question, as we are going into a Paladin as well. 4-4-1 compared to a 4-3-1. Not that big of a difference here. And Chaemiko must be wondering, well, there is still no expansion. He's been checking all across the map here. And what Chaemiko knows is, you know what, I can start to build up and get my perfect army. And if I fight in the right spot, I'm going to be, well, lined up for success. Archmage does, in fact, have an Orb of Fire, though. So the new Orb of Fire being able to allow the Archmage alongside those Riflemen to focus down a target, minimizing the amount of damage or the heal, as you see a quick Priest getting taken down. Mountain King gonna try and engage while Stormbolt onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord could have a little bit of trouble. Death Coil, you can see, did not heal that much. Crypt Lord quickly gets taken down as the battle is still going to continue to rage on here. Mountain King, Stormbolt onto an Abomination. Abomination has, oh, well, nope, that was a Dark Ritual. Lich says, you know what, you look tasty. Let me see if I can just get another one there. All right, Orb of Fire, Death Knight. Trying to Death Coil, it is healing significantly less. An Abomination coming in, Stormbolt again, and that Orb of Fire really living up to its name, causing units to be slowly burned to death, healing not working as well. That last Stormbolt onto the Death Knight, really a waste of mana in my opinion. There's no easy way you're gonna get that Death Knight, and the rest of the army is not nearby. They are all just gonna retreat back. Crypt Lord has been resurrected already. Paladin sitting at level 1 needs to get healed back up. All the priests of Chaemiko lost in that exchange though, as the Paladin looks to, well, finish off the remainder of these creep camps. Well, I take it back. 3 priests still alive. That Paladin, however, low on hit points as they're going to be heading over to the Fountain of Health. Currently sitting at 50 over 70 supply. Chaemiko finally getting into 55 over 60. A slight army advantage here. Riflemen is still getting trained back up. Only 2 production buildings. A lot of disease cloud getting spread across multiple units, as Ente also going into low upkeep. Let's take a look. A skeletal minion. Well, interesting to see armor upgrades first. That one, well, skeletal minion will quickly get taken down. Paladin is already sitting at level, or still sitting at level 1, excuse me. And I don't believe there are any more creep camps available on the map that are really worth talking about. Skeletal minion scouting out the center portion here. Chaemiko or Ente may be thinking, you know what, I'm still in an okay spot. My opponent has not set up an expansion yet. I don't have to worry about this. Another skeletal minion will get taken down. What is the long-term strategy that Chaemiko attempts to go for? 1 water elemental holding into the center portion of the map now. Archmage with Unholy Aura, Crypt Lord, Death Knight, and what destroyers are now onto the field. Also, 5 Abominations are going to be here ready to go. Stormbolt straight up onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord going to get Death Coil, just trying to get saved. We could see a Holy Light trying to save that dare. Mountain King is going to be able to Death Coil it. No, it is not. Low hit point Rifleman trying to back up. Are we going to see some Holy Light? Yes, saving the Mountain King there, as the Crypt Lord is back out into the front. Impale coming across, stunning many of those units. Mountain King could be in trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability quickly being used. Paladin now could be in trouble as well, as the Abominations and that front line so difficult to deal with. Mountain King, well, no easy Holy Light right there. Meanwhile, destroyers are up in the air, removing any possibility of inner fire being altogether that useful. Another Abomination goes down, and Ente is turning things back around. Chaemiko forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. And what's interesting is that he purposely pulled back in a way where it actually removes focus from, well, where he wants to be. Ente, however, sitting at 62 supply, he is in low upkeep. Chaemiko is actually at no upkeep, but he is down by a significant margin in terms of his army. At this point in time, what, you normally have around 12, only what, 38 of your 50 supply is, or 37 of your 50 supply is army. Add in an additional 12 on that. That's actually a very big difference in terms of army sizes. And the fact that there are no obsidian statues is not a problem for the Undead. Undead now using the Fountains of Health to his advantage, sitting at 62 over 70 supply, and should be able to press out here in just a moment. All right, more Abominations getting added in. Slaughterhouse is finally adding in some obsidian statues. Are these replays one be on big maps like Ice Crown? Well, nope. You can see this is Concealed Hill. This is, I would say, a medium-sized map, as destroyers quickly show up to the party here. How do you deal with an Abomination destroyer army without having any sort of griffins in the air to really focus down those Abominations? The Riflemen are just having a bad day. They have 3-0 upgrades, but the abominations are just able to close in on that distance far too quickly, and then with that bonus damage really just tear into those riflemen. Riflemen, are we getting any upgrades on armor? No, we are not. Riflemen should be here, ready to go here. Let's take a look. Archmage sitting at level 5. Mountain King sitting at 4. Paladin sitting at 1. Ente sitting at 4. Lich is at 3. Crypt Lord is at 1. Hero levels have not really progressed, but at the same time, water elementals are just going to look absolutely delicious to these destroyers. All right, let's take a look at this. There's some Devour magic right there. One destroyer not actually being able to finish it off or get the actual Devourer. As you can take a look, another water elemental taken down, giving level 2 to that Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord now with an additional +3 armor, going to be much more difficult to take out. Creep camp or main base is nearly done being mined out. However, human players have an easier time when the main bases have mined out, because you can do long distance mining. There is no such thing for the undead, and because of that, what you see is normally what you get, while the human player can still at least inch out some gold slowly but surely. However, Chaemiko has a big advantage right now. 9 supply going into this fight. Mountain King doesn't get the final shot off there. 1 flying machine here, 3-0 upgrades. There is one Crypt Fiend for a quick ensnare down, but the destroyers are not really the problem. It is these 6 abominations going up against this army of riflemen. Even the priest with their 8 to 9 magic damage is not going to be doing very much. Ente taking up a big advantage there. Let's take a look. Skeletal minion finally gets taken out. Mountain King still ready to go as they're going to be engaging. All right, abominations here once more. Let's take a look next. Lich here as well. Destroyers are all here, ready to go. Death Knight ready as well. There it goes. I believe level 2 now on the Paladin, making him that much more difficult to finish off. A Paladin with now 12 armor. It is Devotion Aura over Divine Shield. Interesting choice. I'm hoping to use the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. It's Get Out of Jail Free card instead. Also, another interesting choice. Well, look, let's take a look at this bit of long distance mining. You're going to take a look at this. Oh, is that peasant going to try to chase after? No, it is not. We're going to take a look. Flying machines with 3-0 upgrades with inner fire. 78 supply compared to 66. A 12 supply difference between these. And this is that long distance mining that I was talking about so much. Is that skeletal minion going to be able to get off that peasant? Yes, it will. Finishes it off. The peasant unable to do very much more of anything else. All right, 3-0 upgrades. Chaemiko, if he knows that his opponent doesn't have an expansion, which he does, he knows that all he needs to do is just get a little bit of an economic edge, and he should be fine. Let's take a look at the current resources. Current gold 8 to 4, not very much. As you can imagine, Flying Machine keeping track overhead. There is, acolytes being brought over, and you can see them joining in over here. Destroyers are going to try and make their way over. Destroyer, one of them does in fact have mana, but it is quickly leaving as the Destroyers are going to try to engage here. Army of Abominations. 6 Abominations. Acolytes being brought over, perhaps for some auto heal. Flying Machine's going to be going straight after those Destroyers, but it's not really going to be doing all that much. The Flying Machines also do not have, the bomb upgrades to attack the ground. And let's take a look. That Destroyer going down to 200 some odd mana. As the peasants, are they going to be making their way back over? All right, Militia going to be joining in. They have dropped their last bit of gold. Let's take a look at the population count. Here we go. Deathquell trying to save Flying Machines, focusing down many units. Acolyte being brought over. They are engaging as much as possible. There is a big Thunderclap right there, slowing down the Abominations. It is level 2 Thunderclap being retrained. Wand of Mana Stealing being used at the Death Knight, trying to hold back here. Are the Militia going to be able to hold that front line? The Lich gets up to level 4. Crypt Lord was taken down. Mountain King is now low on mana. Does use another Thunderclap. Finally has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, but without the Thunderclaps, is it going to be enough? Thunderclaps, the slow clap, dealing so much damage. and the abominations may actually start to fall. Destroyers, however, starting to eat away at the water elementals. This is still anyone's game. Mountain King sitting at level 5. Holy Light, Death Knight, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, Thunderclap, no. Staff of Sanctuary saves the Mountain King as it is trying to get resurrected, but the Mountain King is still out of this fight here. Paladin is going to be able to save any other units. More units getting taken away. Riflemen should really be, I don't know who they should be attacking now. As you can take a look, Peasants, let's take a look back across over here. Just trying to focus down any unit that's possible. Paladin still wandering around, sitting at level 2. Archmage could be in trouble. Archmage trying to get away down to, well, Potion of Invulnerability now being used as it was transferred over. Paladin Holy Lights it, saves it. Mountain King still out of this fight. Paladin could be in trouble. The Paladin gets taken down. Archmage still fighting its way through, is going to be able to get away. Death Knight, no, Lich out of mana. Death Knight coming back across. Let's take a look. Mountain King just, well, standing around there hoping beyond hope that it's able to do something. Archmage, too much chasing on the Archmage. That could actually be a potential issue as the Death Knight is absorbing damage but also getting healed. All right, let's take a look at this. Mountain King is, well, trying to, oh, this quick dispel magic there to remove the Staff of Sanctuary buff. Riflemen trying to fight their way through. Destroyer could get taken down. No, Destroyer looks to back up again. Mountain King is going to be able to get off a big Stormbolt. Death Coil saves the Lich. 35 supply compared to 23. All right, Mountain King looking to get away once again. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight could get taken down. No easy heals. Mountain King gonna try to stay there at the very last bit. Mountain King gets Frost Nova'd. He gets taken down. Lich gets up to level 5. Still has mana. 18 supply compared to 30. Who is gonna win out? Archmage gets up to level 6 though. Could try and cannot resurrect at the tavern, as there is no gold left to resurrect anything. All right, long distance mining coming across here. This has been a crazy game. Death Knight and Lich sitting at level 5 at the Fountain of Health. Is there anything going on here? No, all the buildings were unsummoned. This is going to be an extremely close game, but 35 supply compared to 18. Doesn't take a math major to realize that Chaemiko has the advantage. Death Knight, Lich sitting at level 5 now. Let's take a look across over here. Death Knight, he's the one with the Sobi Mask. Perhaps the Sobi Mask could be given to the Lich as well. Lich needs a bit of extra mana. Selling some extra gold. Perhaps we're going to see a resurrection somewhere. No, training up an Acolyte. Why an Acolyte? What are you hoping to really do with one lone Acolyte? Rebuild a base, unsummon buildings? All of that, not really that viable of an option. All right, let's perhaps unsummon some Ziggurats and then try and do an expansion. Meanwhile, protecting these, well, hard-working peasants, trying to give them as much gold as possible. As you're going to see, a little bit more gold getting added slowly but surely. All right, Inner Fire on a water elemental. Lich, Crypt Fiend now making their way down. Destroyer out in the air, down to 668 hit points. Let's take a look up. Inner Fire here, ready to go, buffing up the army. This is going to be perhaps Staff of Teleportation. Water Elemental looking for the right units. And, well, let's take a look. Dark Ritual. Oh, so did it build? No, it was a tomb. Unsummon the rest of the buildings, build a tomb of relics, and now use the Dark Ritual to get some mana. All right, Death Coil, Frost Nova, one priest down, another priest down. Destroyer getting Devour Magic. Lich still fighting across over here. Mountain King is back out onto the field, finishing off another Rifleman there. Lich could be in trouble. Death Knight still nearby. Let's take a look. Lich getting more mana again. Oh, there is another bit of the skeletal minions, but they are a little bit too close. A Death Coil Frost Nova finishes off another Rifleman. Somehow this 16 supply army is just living up to its name. Another Dark Ritual. Lich, Death Knight, gonna be here, ready to go. Potion of Mana could easily focus down another unit again, going after the Mountain King. Mountain King, Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight is in trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability could be used here. Skeletal minions, are we gonna see a Dark Ritual? There's a Dark, no, Dispel Magic right there. Lich unable to get it. Death Knight sitting at 267. There's a Death Coil. It's going to try and finish off that one unit. Unable to do so as there's just too much healing. Death Coil onto the Lich. For Stormbolt onto the Lich as well. Is the Lich going to be able to get away? I don't believe so. That might be enough Death Knight was just a second late, and a beautiful effort by Ente, but Chaemiko gets the win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Ente at the very end, able to really maximize the efficiency of Rod of Necromancy, Potion of Mana, Lich, Death Knight, and really ate through much of Chaemiko's army, focusing down Priest and Rifleman. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're looking for more Warcraft 3 stuff and you're on YouTube, well, you're already in the right place. If you're on Twitch, well, go ahead, check out my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.